Good morning. Have you ever had the experience of meeting someone famous? Maybe it's a celebrity or maybe a childhood hero, and you get to meet that person in the flesh, or an athlete or someone, and you have the opportunity to have that exchange or to meet that person, or maybe even talk to that person just for a moment. Or maybe you've had the experience of maybe you're in a room and there's that person that you've kind of been interested in for a little while, and you're at a party or some event, and you see that person across the room, and you're looking at that person, and that person looks back at you. And there's that split second where your eyes meet, and you may have that experience of like excitement or maybe embarrassment and all these different emotions, and then that person gives you a smile, and you smile back, and there's that connection, that takes place at that moment. I can remember at one point when I was in college, I studied for a semester in Europe, and for Easter, I went to Rome and I was able to celebrate Holy Week and Easter at the Vatican. And I can remember at one of the masses, now St. John Paul II was processing in, and I was actually at the edge of the aisle. And as he was processing in, he was interacting with the crowd, and I was able to reach out, and our hands met, for a split second, and we exchanged glances, and our eyes locked just for that split second. And what a neat opportunity, an experience it was to be seen, to be aware of, in another person's mind. In Genesis, we hear about the story of Hagar in chapter 16. And at this point, Hagar is the servant and the mistress of Abraham and Sarah, and she's in less than an ideal situation. She's pregnant, and Sarah's not being very nice to her, so she gets up and she leaves and she flees and goes into the desert. And she's kind of despondent. She doesn't know what to do, and she's in distress. And the angel of the Lord appears to her and gives her comfort. And at the end, she says that God's name is El Roi, which means God sees me. And then she's able to go back to Abraham and Sarah. Not necessarily the circumstances or the situations change, but she's changed because she's aware of the fact that she's been seen by God. In all of these different situations, scenarios, there's that power of being seen of where we are at, being seen and aware that God sees us and knows us and sees our circumstances and sees our situations. And suddenly we realize that we are not alone, that we're not abandoned. So I pray for us today that we have that grace to see that we are seen, that we have that grace that we can remember that we are always in the loving presence of God, a God who sees us in our circumstances and our situations, whatever they may be. Live Jesus in our hearts forever.